Good morning, live from Las Vegas, Portnoy Gallery. We're here at Twin Brothers from Different Mothers podcast, and I'm taking over for the opening of the show because I got an invalid sitting to my left with a sling on his hand after a operation to the rotator cuff surgery. So, for respect for my partner Aaron today.
For respect, that's a first. What do you got? Oh,
I got the number 2 in it, like Derek Jeter. Respect. I have a carrot top prop.
Oh, there you go. So this is an all sling version of Twin Brothers.
That's all I got, and I don't know. I can't do anything with this.
No,
so I'm taking it off.
It looks like you're wearing a shoelace around your neck, by the way.
Yeah.
Does that mean our guest has to come up wearing a sling too?
No, just for us too. But you know, it's a wonderful Saturday again. We started this podcast way back in November.
Yeah.
And the amount of guests and the amount of lives we have touched here on Twin Brothers from Different Mothers makes us both very happy. We are out in the community here in Las Vegas. We are, quite frankly, all over the world because we have viewers that have been watching us from Europe.
Yes.
South America.
Confirmed.
North America.
Confirmed. Well, we're in North America.
We're in North America. Canada, they're not. Are they here?
Yeah, I think they're still part of North America.
Okay. But everybody watches us,
yes.
And we have a great message and a great guest for us today. Aaron, take it from here.
And it's so good, we even now have our own mugs. We have our own mugs now.
Yeah. Twin
Brothers from Different Mothers. And then on the back side.
Should I hold it up really close?
Yeah, go ahead. Because I can't reach it. There you go. There's our ugly mugs on a mug. Is that a double negative?
No, we wear glasses. We have 4 eyes.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching. I see names popping up in the chat room. Neil is going to monitor the chat room so that he can type and respond to any questions, thoughts, say hi to you folks there. Please remember, as always, please reshare the link for this direct onto your wall so that this way everybody on your friend list can see our show. And, of course, if you miss any of our shows, all of our podcasts are available here on Facebook as videos, YouTube channel, Twin Brothers, Different Mothers, and of course, if you just love the audio stuff.
Hey, Justin Chuck.
Yes, Justin. He's one of the wrestling gurus that I see at Big Valley Wrestling. Thank you, Justin. Please reshare. Good to see you out there. We are on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud.
All of those icons.
All those icons behind us. And I'm thinking about adding a couple more. Spotify, for one, I have not added us to. But, yeah, so please catch us, watch us. And like Neil said, we're about 2 months shy of a year doing this. And it all started off as a giggle story in the front room that day.
You know, it's funny. People ask us, how did you guys think about doing, a podcast? We did our homework. We Googled podcast. What the hell is a podcast? We went and bought this little Podcast for Dummies book, which to date we still have not read.
No, that's why we still don't know what we're doing.
We sat in the front room. We started talking, and about an hour later, we went, hey, you know what? Here's our show.
That's right. We should have had a microphone going right at that time. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun. We like Neil said, the people we've touched and helped get out there, even to the point where one of them, Kids Uplifting Kids, due to David Tatlock and Noel Casimiro, who's both been on the show. We're doing a music fest in April, which I am part of the board of directors for this organization. Kids Uplifting Kids is a group that is looking to raise funds to take foster kids on trips that they never thought they'd be able to do.
It's great.
And with David's help and the city of Las Vegas, April 20th, I believe, is the day that we've got everybody's backing. So just an example as to the kind of reach that we have here at Twin Brothers.
And David Tatlock is the lead
yes.
for the Soul Juice Band, a very hot horns band here in Las Vegas that's starting to get some really good traction. And they're playing an outdoor festival coming up in Utah on a big bill with some very well-known bands. And good for you, David. You work hard at it, and about time it happened.
Absolutely. Good people get recognized. All right, our guest today, which we'll have coming up here in a few minutes, is someone that I like to call the tea maven. Anything and everything you want to know about teas. We've had her on our show before. I've had the pleasure of interviewing her in the past on my Aaron's Hour show way back when.
Correction.
Yes.
I, too, thought we had already had her on the show. She's never been on Twin Brothers.
You've never been on Twin Brothers? Oh, okay. So, see, that's what happens when I listen to you. I listened to him when he said you've been on here before. You were with me on Aaron's Hour.
I make mistakes sometimes. Not often.
No, but Louise was with me when I did Aaron's Hour over at 1400 AM. And anyway, so she is the tea maven. Louise Carruth will be joining us here. She is the owner of Little Candle Tea Company. But we're not just going to talk about teas and the types and all that stuff. That if you want that, Go back to my archives and you'll actually find that show. Today, though, we're going to talk about the secrets of tea, the good, the bad, the ugly, as I put it in yesterday's promo.
The Clint Eastwood.
The Clint Eastwood of teas. There you go. I like that. That was very good. It was very good.
I'm getting a compliment.
Well, listen, I'm still on my anesthesia meds, so
right.
take it for what it's worth. Okay. So the Clint Eastwood of teas. I like that. That's very good. So, but as always, we have some topics we want to touch on and give our thoughts and opinions on. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat room. Neil is monitoring them the best of his ability to try to reply.
Hi, Salome.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. I can't even see the names. My eyes are so blurry right now. But, okay, so here's topic number one. Hooters was bought by a company out of India. It's an Indian chain called OYO, O-Y-O, Hotels and Homes.
Oh, the Hotel Hooters.
The Hotel Hooters.
I didn't know you were in Vegas.
Well, as my caption said yesterday, Hooters is changing hands, so you can take that for whatever you want. Anyway, they sold
not as good as my Eastwood thing.
No, it was not as good. But remember, I was under medication yesterday.
My bad.
So they sold it for $135 million to OYO, is the way I'll pronounce it, or for us Jews, OYO.
OYO.
Now, here's the interesting about this company. They currently have 112 hotel buildings available in 21 states across the U.S.
The gentleman,
yes,
the CEO, the president who started it, I believe, at age like 17.
Okay.
He had like 6 or 7 properties, and within 1 year, he increased it to 200 properties.
Wow. Well, just from the beginning of last month, within the last 30 days ago, they only had 50 hotels in 15 states here in the U.S. Now it's 112 and 21.
They're growing.
Yeah, and he wants to have hotels available in every state in the country.
And he felt with the Raiders coming in and Vegas growing the way we are growing here in Vegas, it's a perfect timing to take over the Hooters property. Now, I was told also there's a large parking lot before you get the Hooters. We know the parking lot.
Correct.
We drive by it.
Correct.
And they're going to expand and start immediately putting money into that. Now, when Dorothy and I first came to Vegas to say, we want to look and possibly live here, we took the cheap route out, and we had between the Strat or Hooters where we wanted to stay. And I said, I'm not staying at the Strat. And the Strat's beautiful.
Right.
I didn't realize it.
Well, it was the Stratosphere back then.
Correct.
It wasn't the Strat.
Correct. I still call it the Strat even back then. So we stayed at Hooters. We went up to our room, and there were barn boards on the walls. And I said, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. I feel like I'm out in the country somewhere in this little sleazy hotel. You take the bed spread and you pull it back and you go, I stayed there, and it was fine as a place to get to where we need to get. But if I had to do it again, there was no way. They need an upgrade at Hooters, big time.
Well, as I hate to say this, it's going to sound so stupid, but
go ahead.
I will use the excuse that I'm still on medication.
No, you can only use it once.
Okay. Well, then I'll say it in full
and get the consequences. Go.
It's a story that's continuing to develop, so we'll keep you abreast of what's going on with Hooters Hotel at News at 11.
Was that plural?
Well,
how would you say abreast plurally?
Breasts.
We'll keep you breast on the subject.
Right. We'll keep you
abreast. Not a breast.
We'll keep you abreast.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I said.
Hi, Shoshana. Shoshana's watching.
Yes, Shoshana's watching. Shoshana's out there. Thank you, Shoshana, as always. But anyway, I digress very poorly. Let's talk about another hotel. We just briefly touched on this a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, but the Hard Rock, I thought the Hard Rock is going to be shutting down for renovations because the guy from Virgin Atlantic, what's his name, Richard something or other? Branson. He bought the property, and so they're going to
shut down the whole 2020.
Yes, originally that was not supposed to happen. They were gonna stay open during renovations, but news broke.
But they've given the opportunity for all the employees that have been part of Hard Rock for a long time, to stay on, still get paid,
right on,
different jobs. So they're trying to work that out.
Good.
Hey, the guy's a billionaire.
So it's September. It's scheduled approximately for closure as of February 2020 to be closed for the rest of the year. Be interesting to see. People are wondering what kind of motif he's going to put the hotel into. Everybody's suspecting it to be a Virgin Atlantic, Mobil, whatever his logos and company takes are. But there really hasn't been anything that has come out.
I heard he's not going to change the Hard Rock look. I mean, people know the
guitar's gone, right? Isn't the big guitar gone from the front?
The front. Right? But why would you get rid of that really expensive memorabilia that he's got in there? that give the tourists that stay at the property a whole new. Listen, he'll add in his stuff from Virgin Atlantic, the spacecraft he's doing, the underground rail system he's putting here in Las Vegas.
The underground rail system is not him. That's Elon Musk.
Well, yeah, but the same person.
Oh, okay.
Same person.
You never see them in the same room together. I guess you're right.
It's like Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, and who's the other guy? Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman, and Robert De Niro are really the same person. Think about the movies they've been in.
That's true.
You can't tell the difference.
You can't.
But I think it gives him a base of operation here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
To do other things.
And who doesn't want a base of operation in Vegas?
Correct.
Especially a guy like Branson. It's about ego sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll just keep you informed.
I'm surprised they didn't name the stadium, the Raiders Stadium.
Virgin Stadium. Not in Vegas.
You can't
do that in
yeah,
Vegas.
I just thought about that. It wouldn't work.
No, it would not work. I'm still not comfortable with Allegiant, but it's either near or there.
I went.
How about Hooters Stadium? That would have worked.
Hooters would have worked. I went to see the folk
Hi, Sheila.
Legacy Trio last night down at South Point. Great show.
Yes, you did.
And our friend George Grove, who's the banjo player, guitar player, came up with a great line. I think Jerry, the guy in the middle, the lead singer, Jerry Siggins, is brilliant. But he came up with a line. He says, the most favorite place he'd ever gone to was the Canary Islands.
Okay.
And the unique thing is they have no canaries. So, George got on the mic and he said, my favorite place is the Virgin Island, and they don't have any canaries either. And the crowd just erupted roaring. I don't know why I thought of that, but I did.
But once again, we digress.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to put the sling back on.
No, I was off balance. Oh, God, I was off balance with the sling.
Oh, my goodness.
What else you got?
A couple other news and notes. Longtime sports announcer affiliated with CBS who called many an NFL game and other sports. Jack Whitaker passed away, I think it was yesterday or the day before, at 95.
He's lived a full life.
He certainly did.
We were talking off camera. He's like the Keith Jackson, of broadcasting. I mean, a legend, a great voice, great presence on camera. Will be very well missed.
Yeah. To me, growing up, he was synonymous with football, the NFL, early before the Pat Summerall era. Because didn't Summerall take over for him?
Summerall took over.
Right, for Whitaker? Yeah, Whitaker's also on golf. Yep. But he took over, and to me, he was synonymous with football like Kurt Gowdy was with baseball on NBC. Sure. I mean, that voice was there. So he'll be missed. And last but not least, book signing tomorrow. I just want to announce for a friend of mine. If you're up near Barnes & Noble's up on 8915 West Charleston, I believe that's the one right near Rampart next to the Whole Foods.
We're talking about Hooters again?
Indirectly. Former Playboy model and actress and entrepreneur Lauren Jennifer Gates will be up there signing her new book from 1 to 5 called LJG Footography. It's all about feet. It's an interesting twist on her stories.
It's a foot fetish. She wrote a book on it.
Yeah, well, okay.
I saw the pictures. They're really impressive feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How she got connected with all that, God only knows. Anyway, hello to everybody in the chat room. We thank you for watching the watch party. We appreciate you checking in. Please reshare the feed direct to your wall so all your friends can see what's going on behalf of our guests and twin brothers from different mothers.
Sheila Cooper said, hi, you two handsome guys.
Yeah, that's why I said hi, Sheila, when you were talking.
Yeah, I went to an optometrist tomorrow, and I ordered her a new pair of glasses.
Or maybe for the left side of the screen, not the right side.
Well, the screen is backwards. That's, look at the picture behind us.
No, well, that's true. That's why this is not a show for dyslexics.
Am I confusing you? Because I'm trying really hard.
You are doing very well. Thank you. Absolutely. All right. Is it that time? I looked at my left wrist and I don't have a watch there. It's such a habit, but I do have a beautiful bracelet that my daughter brought me from Israel. See, everybody's seeing it now. If I had it on my right arm, they wouldn't see it.
They can barely see it on the screen. What does it say?
Shema Yisrael.
Which means?
Hail Israel. All Israel. Love Israel.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So, all right. Shall we bring her up? Shall we stop the agony for us and bring up our guest? Would you like to do that?
I love agony.
I know you.
Well, let's bring up our guest.
Let's bring up our guest anyway.
Pick on her.
All right. She didn't give me a bio, so I'm not going to read a bio other than me saying this. You've known Louise a while, too.
A while since we've been in Vegas.
Yeah, and I've known Louise as well, a little longer than that, since I've been in Vegas longer than you. We network together on Wednesdays. Just all-around good person. She's known as the tea lady in many parts of Las Vegas, because if there's anything and everything you ever want to know about tea, how to make it, why not to do the Liptons and all that sort of stuff, she is the Tpedia, kind of like Wikipedia. She's
Soon-
a Tpedia.
Soon to be known as the Clint Eastwood of teas.
Yes, because she's going to go over the good, the bad, the ugly about teas today.
Good segue.
Let's bring up Louise Carruth. Come on up, Louise. If we had canned applause, I would be piping in there. There we go. You're even getting a standing ovation right now is what you're getting.
Dorothy just gave her a standing
That's
O.
right. So the mic is live, so make sure you bring that right up to your lips so people will be able to hear you. Good morning and welcome to our insanity.
Good morning.
I asked her before we went on the air if she really wanted to go through this with us, given our mockery of each other before we went on the air, but she's still
It
going
was
to come on.
Comedy Central.
There you
here
go. Absolutely.
before.
Well, we appreciate you making time to be with us. As always, it's always fun to talk with you. So what's going on in your life these days?
Just busy with tea, all kinds
You're
of
all
new
over the city
things.
doing booths and tastings.
I do
and
seem to be, yes.
Yeah,
and
you're all
it's
over.
what I love. So just learning social media, which
you just got an app for that, didn't you?
I did. Well, thank
How was
you
that
for
for a segue?
asking.
How was that for a segue?
That's
Thank
pretty
you
good.
for asking. Isn't that wonderful?
Absolutely good.
Yes.
What's the app?
So it's actually a digital business card from Platinum Edge Media.
CJ.
Thompson,
Yeah.
yes. So if you would like to get a hold of me and always have me close by and answer questions or give me a call, then what you do is you text T Lady. So that's capital T EA, capital LADY. It's one word. And text that to 40691. And you can download my card. Just remember to save it to your front page of your phone. And I will be there whenever you need me. And it goes directly to my website, so you never have to wait till you get to your computer or have to find it on your phone. My business card will take me right there.
We both know CJ, and we know the
Yep.
apps that he does, the mobile apps for the phone. It's a great platform technology where you're always available. They can research your website, get your phone number, get your contact, get your product, service, et cetera, and right with one click of your finger, not the mouse, but the finger, because it's on your mobile phone.
Right.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. So again, that's T Lady, capital T, capital L, all one word, to 40691, and you can have me right there on your phone. You can email me from there, call me from there, check
All right.
out my website.
So when you and I last did a radio interview together, that's when I was on an AM station in town. And we talked a lot about the different types of teas and educating people on teas and good ones, whatever, just the whole base knowledge of teas and why doing what you recommend versus a Lipton tea bag and such. But today we're going to take a very different approach, because today you want to educate and raise awareness about really the good, the bad, the ugly. I joked about it before, but why you should not buy a can of the iced tea product you may find in a refrigerator section of your supermarket versus doing a healthier tea. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So first of all, why don't you talk about what you have here on the table? We actually have some items here.
Yes.
Let's talk about how we even make tea other than the traditional boiling water in a tea bag.
So I have people who come up to me and actually tell me that they don't make tea, even though they may drink it when they go out or if somebody else makes it for them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't drink tea because they don't have a fancy teapot.
Okay.
And they believe that that's what it takes to be able to drink tea, because women just love their afternoon teas. They love to get dressed up and have gloves and a hat and all of those things. Oh, yes, just you can turn that off. I'm sorry. My phone.
Oh, did you have the
talking. Yeah.
podcast up there on your phone? That's all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. So anyway, thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, and I'm going, and then I remembered I forgot to turn off that part of the phone. So and so they get the idea that tea is special, and it takes a special kind of attempt to make it, and you have to have the teapot and the fancy porcelain cups, and which I have at home in a cupboard that, you know,
probably doesn't
I
get
don't
open.
use. No,
These
not
don't,
ever.
These don't look
So-
special.
No,
porcelain
these are
and
not
stuff.
special. So I tell people,
That
and
one
they
brings
kind of
back
look at
nightmares to me.
Yeah, I tell people that say that to me, that you boil the water or that you heat the
It's not an eye splash.
heat the water
It's sunny
on
in
the
here. I got
phone.
sunscreen on.
Heat the water on the phone. Heat the water on the stove.
Don't try heating the
No,
water on
don't
the
do
phone.
that.
You'll need a new phone.
So then you put your tea in here. So you just take tea out of your bag. You put a teaspoon of it in your pot. You pour your water over the tea always, no matter what you're using to make tea. Let it steep according to the directions on the package.
Mhm.
And then you have a little strainer. Almost every kitchen has some sort of little strainer that you use.
Yeah, you don't want to use the
Anything.
pasta one because the holes are too big. You'll lose the
No,
tea.
actually, if that's all you had,
Really?
it'll work because the tea leaves of loose leaf tea are going to be bigger.
Oh, okay.
See, you
All right.
didn't know that?
I was
So
setting her up.
then you have your cup. You put your strainer over your cup, or you might have to hold it. And then you just simply pour the tea out when it's ready. Put this in its little holder or on a dish, and there you've got your cup of
And the
tea.
tea tastes better when it's in a Twin Brothers mug. Is that not right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Just wanted
Of
to make
course
sure.
it does. And then you could look at these lovely faces all the time.
Now, if my sister was watching and my wife and my daughters, I always used to talk about the clear pot my mom used to boil the Del Monte canned vegetables in, that you buy off
Oh,
the shelf.
Yeah.
This was the exact pot she used. And to this day, this brings back horror memories.
Did
for
you
me.
get
I'm
that?
so
Did you get that in a
sorry.
yard
That's
sale, or,
I had no idea.
or is that one? Did you actually buy? Is that a Pyrexer type thing?
Yes,
or-
it is.
It's a Pyrex.
Yeah, I love this pot.
Yeah.
Well, so you'll bring better memories for me, knowing it's for
Yeah,
tea.
you can use it for tea. The whole point is you don't need a fancy teapot. You don't need all the things that you may see at an afternoon tea.
Mhm.
Go to the Cosmo or the Aria or wherever you're going to go to afternoon tea. But you don't need any of that. Make it so you like it. Pick a tea. Tea is nothing more, really, than another flavored liquid. It's good
Makes sense.
for you.
Makes sense.
People drink. I love my coffee. I drink it every morning. I grind my own beans fresh. I use a coffee press. I love the flavor in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
By 10:30 in the morning, when I start to get hungry again and I want a snack, that's when I start drinking my tea.
But tea is actually better for you than coffee. I've read reports. Tea,
There are all kinds of reports. There are lots of healing effects of drinking tea. Keep in mind, the problem is I can't tell you how much tea to drink to get those effects. That's the difference. That's why it's just a healthy drink. Find something you enjoy. Learn to make it correctly, because that's why
Right.
people don't like it, because they claim it's bitter. Or
now, do you
it's
have
tasteless.
literature? Do you have literature on how to properly make the
On
tea?
all of course, I didn't bring one of my labels. Oh,
Dorothy has
but
it.
we
We
do
have it here at
happen to
Portnoy
have
Gallery.
the right kind of prop. Thank you.
Doofus.
Oh,
Doofus is on
yes,
the tea. Well,
that's
I
even. I don't know if you can see this cute little character.
That's
on there.
Doofus.
Yeah, Doofus. So Doofus is on here, and
He loves your tea. Doofus
well,
loves your tea.
I know this one is jasmine with flowers. It's a green tea, but on the back of all of my product, you will always find directions, and then on the front, it will always tell you the temperature of the water and how long to steep it. And then after you drink it for a while, you figure out, well, maybe for the cup that I use, I know I use a mug to drink my tea from. And so I don't use just a flat teaspoon. I use like a rounded teaspoon for
Mhm.
most teas. So after you work it, you learn how to make it so you enjoy it.
What's the word steep? What's it
Steep
mean?
is infusing.
It's an
So
incline.
Yeah, that's all I know.
it's how long you're going to leave the tea in the water
Oh,
after you pour the hot water
so that's
over
called
it.
steeping.
That's called steeping.
Steeping the tea.
Yeah.
See, you learn
Some
something
people
new every
use the
day.
word infusing. It's the same thing. You're infusing the flavor and the goodness of the leaf into
Into
the
the
water.
water.
And some people like it stronger, so you steep it longer.
Oh,
Steep
don't
it?
ever. No,
No.
because that's when it starts to get bitter, and that's when you come up to me and you go, I don't drink tea because
Because the
it's
darker
bitter.
the tea lends it to that
It's
kind of
not
taste,
going
right?
to turn into coffee.
Right.
Okay. It will never turn into coffee. You coffee drinkers who would like to move to tea because you think it's better for you, or it's too much caffeine in coffee, whatever you think, steeping it longer is going to make it bitter. The key here is the hotter the water, the longer you steep, the more caffeine is let out into the cup. It's the caffeine that makes the tea bitter.
Now, speaking of that, it says on your package here, on the directions, 180 degrees hot, 212 degrees boiling. Do you have to put a thermometer in there?
No, just put your finger in and test
I'm
it.
so glad you asked that.
Yeah, how would you know 100?
Put your finger in and test it.
So white tea is about 165 to 170 degrees. That's when you're looking in your pot, and I have a stainless steel pot, and I actually look over into it to make sure of the bubbles. When the bubbles are just covering the bottom of the pot,
Yeah,
that's about 165, 170 degrees, hot enough for white tea.
so
Don't
10 more
use
bubbles get you 180 degrees?
I talk
or-
with my hands. This is
I
really
know,
hard.
that's okay.
Aaron talks with one hand now.
Yes.
So 180 for green tea, 175, 180, sometimes 190. But 180 is when the bubbles are getting bigger and they're just beginning to come up to the top.
Oh.
Okay, that's 180. Boiling is boiling, but you don't want to let it boil. As soon as it starts
Turn it off.
roiling, you just turn it off, and that's what you use.
Let me reset for everybody. Thank you for watching Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. I am Aaron Phillips. To my far right is, of course, Neil Portnoy. And sitting in the middle of us is Louise Carruth, the tea maven and owner of Little Candle Tea Company. And she's sharing her knowledge of tea. What I'd like to do, though, is let's get started on the good, bad, the ugly myth stuff. Okay, you have a beautiful bag of tea here, your bag, whatever tea leaves there are here. Why is this healthier versus the Lipton stuff, the prepackaged tea bags? So let's start there.
So the prepackaged tea bags used to be called, and some of them still are, used to be called dust and fannings. It's what's left literally on the floor that's swept up and used for tea bags.
Really?
That was in the old days. Now, of course, they use different methods, and we don't usually use the word dust and fanning so much anymore.
I never heard that term.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin?
Dust,
Yeah.
and fannings.
What's a fannings?
It's what's left after the tea leaves have all been grated.
Okay.
So they also, in some instances, use the tea leaves on the side of the bushes, which are never used for loose leaf tea. The side of the bushes, which are older teas.
How does tea grow?
On a bush. Actually, if you let the bush grow, it will turn into a tea tree.
Maybe we can plant that in the backyard.
Not in this climate and soil.
Okay, a good
So-
lead in. Where is tea grown? What is the ideal climate for a tea tree?
It is very much like wine. In fact, it's exactly like wine. We
Oh.
use the same terminology. That's the good. Okay. It's called terroir, and it has to do with the altitude, the climate,
And the
and
soil.
the minerals in the soil.
Soil.
So a Burgundy wine, for example, from Burgundy is not going to taste the same as a Burgundy wine from Napa Valley.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have different flavors, but they're Burgundy wine.
Manischewitz.
What gives them the flavor that they have is the altitude, the climate, and the minerals in the soil. The
That makes
same with
sense.
tea. So there's no absolutely ideal tea. That's why the teas don't taste the same.
Are there
That's
tea
why
farms?
you don't go
Are there tea farms?
plantations. Yes.
Plantations. Where,
They're
where,
small farms.
where are they located?
All over the world.
Really?
All over the world. For tea tastings, I like to do sometimes a trip around the world so that each tasting is a different country. So then we taste only teas from that country, and
so
you
in
get
other
to see
words-
the
In
variety.
other words, you're available for people if
I
they
am.
want to do a little party or something.
Not a party, focused tea tasting, I like to call it
Okay,
that.
a focus tea tasting.
Yeah.
and FTT.
There you go.
FTT.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
that- I
focus
did
tea
that.
tasting, and
But
then
you'd
we
be
can
able to
talk
come
about-
in and do these events for people so that you'll have product with you, and they could. Do you ever think about doing like a
all the time.
you know, the marketing thing that they do, where you can go in and then you could be part of it, and they're underneath you and you're underneath them, and
No,
no, you don't
it's,
do that.
I am not
MLM,
an
that's it.
MLM.
Yeah,
I
that's
am
right.
not direct sales. I founded the company. I own the company. And so I have total control over everything that happens in my company.
But I think it's a great idea. That's a great event to have, where people who enjoy tea could learn more about the tea and sample the different, areas of the world that this is produced in.
Yeah.
Well, let me help you with that,
Okay.
because a couple of events that Louise will be participating in, where you can see Louise live at an event, and then you can make arrangements other than here.
They can come in now and see her live.
That's true. September 27th through 29th, Pop-Up Marketplace Las Vegas will be at the Walmart Shopping Center on Charleston and Decatur. October 26th, Tea Talk at Coronado Heights Assisted Living. The public is welcome. It's from 2:30 to 3:30. Minimal charge, $5 per person. And she will be doing tastings at a Balanced You Wellness Center, days and times to be announced down the line. So those are a couple of events coming up. Plus, as you said, give some contact information for someone who wants to host something in their home or their business or whatever.
Okay, so you can call me at area code 702-643-2828 and make an appointment. You can download my digital business card at Tea Lady. Use the words Tea Lady, capital T, capital L, all one word, and text that to 40691, and you will be able to download my digital card to your phone, which gives you access to my website
All right.
and me.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is like, I'm serving it up, fastball right down the middle of the plate for you.
Okay,
All right.
I'm ready.
But not everything we call tea is actually tea, right? Because we think,
Exactly.
when we think about tea, we think it comes from a tea leaf, but it doesn't always come that way, right?
Well, technically, tea only comes from tea leaves.
Real
all
tea.
all tea leaves, white, green, oolong, black, pu'er, dark teas.
Pu'er? What's pu'er?
Winnie the Pooh's favorite.
Pu'er is dark tea.
Oh, it's dark tea.
It's
Okay.
darker
I
than-
want to learn all
Yeah.
of this.
Well, I know. We've
Okay.
only got-
I smell a tea tasting coming at Portnoy
Yeah,
Gallery
yeah,
soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Why not?
Why not? So, so that all tea leaves have caffeine. Unfortunately, we've gotten to the point where anything you make like tea, we call tea. The Indians, you only used herbs. They didn't have the tea leaf, and yet everything that they made, they called tea.
What about cannabis infused tea? We're in Vegas. It's legal.
It's tea.
Is it out there though?
You can infuse cannabis, sure.
Oh, okay.
I just saw an article which I posted on the avocado leaf. They're making tea out of avocado leaves.
How about
now.
bacon? They have bacon tea yet?
No.
I
Chocolate tea?
actually
No.
funny you should yes. Actually, funny you should mention that because I had a friend who blended her own teas and she used bacon.
Oh,
So,
see, it's not out of the
bacon bits.
question.
Yeah.
Not out
Yeah.
of the question.
You
Like
can
bacon
make
bits, that
tea-
makes sense.
You can make a drink where you measure the contents and you use hot water and you steep it. It'll be a tea, but it won't be a tea leaf.
Gotcha.
So you can use herbs, you can use fruit infusions,
Interesting.
and not all tea is what it says it is. So there is a company out there that has a name of a state, and it has a beautiful can that
Kinda
kids
light green, right?
especially want to take their hands on, and parents think because it says the name of the company and then it says tea.
What's the name of the company?
Well,
No,
we don't want it. What's
can't say that.
Don't say it out loud. But what state do the Diamondbacks play in?
And
Don't even say it. Don't say it out loud.
say it.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh my
Sounds
gosh.
like here's.
I get it. That was,
And you're married to this man.
I know. That was a fastball down the middle, and I'm a
You swung and
baseball
missed.
player.
Yes, you didn't even foul tip it. You
No,
just
not at
totally
all.
missed it.
So, I'm a big proponent in anything that you put in your mouth, that you buy at the store, to be a label reader. Read what it says.
Yep.
you know. So I have taken, I went to the store and bought one can, sorry,
That's okay.
bought one can and bottle of about 4 or 5 different products that had the word tea in it. And especially when I see parents giving children tea, which they really shouldn't be drinking because it has caffeine in it, young children especially. And I looked at the label of this particular can, and I looked at the ingredients label. The first ingredient was purified water, which I thought was, oh, this is awesome, because in order to really allow the flavor of the tea to come through, even in your own home, use purified water, because it'll take some of that minerally taste out of it. The second ingredient in this can, which is big can, is high fructose corn syrup. Nobody uses high
What
fructose
the hell
corn
does that have
syrup.
to do with tea?
It's a sweetener,
Okay.
but it's the worst kind of sweetener, really, that you can buy on the market. It's terrible. Companies have stopped using it because of the bad things. So the third ingredient is tea.
In
After
minimal
high
amounts.
fructose corn syrup, yes.
Yeah, minimal amounts.
And the other thing was, it said 100 calories. And you go, oh yeah, 100 calories. That's in a big can like that. That's per serving. And in this can, there are 3 servings. Most people don't look at the serving
Nope.
size.
Nope.
So the children are drinking 300 calories of essentially
Sugar.
high fructose corn syrup, and then the other things they have to put in there as preservatives, citric acid and ascorbic acid.
Can I get back to the, and maybe we shouldn't go back to it, but where you can plant your own tea? You said it has to do with the soil, which you can always import.
Well, you can. I mean, I have friends who grow little tea plants. It's essentially a camellia plant, actually. It's a Camellia sinensis.
I have a lisp. I can't say the word.
So you can, but it's not going to be like a plantation out in your backyard.
So you
or
may get a
farm.
half a cup of tea and that's
Maybe.
it.
Once a year.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not going to work.
So I just want you to understand that because a label says tea, it's not necessarily a tea leaf from a tea plant. There's also diet tea out there. A lot of people will ask me about, well, do you carry that diet tea? Well, there's, first of all, in the tea world with the tea plant, there's no such thing as a diet tea. If there was, we would all weigh 110 pounds.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing. The diet tea, which unfortunately they sell, at least at Smith's Market when I looked, is in the tea section.
Okay.
It's not tea. It is a senecot plant. And senecot is one of the strongest laxatives on the market.
Wonderful.
Oh.
And that's why you get a tummy ache when you drink it, because
It's
heck,
doing
if
things it
one
shouldn't
cup
be.
is good for you, why not drink 3 cups
Right.
of laxative?
Ugh.
But
Just-
people don't look at it. The box is green, and a lot of people, market their green. Green is the color of tea.
Packaging.
Because
It's
of
all
green-
about packaging.
It's all about
Because of green tea.
packaging.
Sure.
And they do have a picture of a leaf on it. But people are going to look at the leaf. They're not going to look at the teeny, teeny, tiny printing next to the leaf that says senecot.
Let me ask you a question here. I'm looking at the certain bags that we have here of tea and
Yeah, that's a sample from one of my suppliers.
how would you say that first word?
That's Dethelson and Bach.
Yeah,
They're a
okay.
wholesaler only.
Okay, and then you've got your, the little candles tea company with your labeling here. How do you put this package together?
I buy in bulk from Dethelson and Bach, D&B.
Yeah.
And I take that, and when somebody orders tea from me, then I take my pouch, my tea pouch, and I use these pouches because they're Ziploc sealed.
Nice.
And I do that because, again, you do not need to go out and buy tins unless you have all the room in the world
Now,
in
do you-
your cupboard.
Do you refrigerate that, or how do you go-
Absolutely
Okay.
not. No,
Oh,
you never
really?
put tea in the refrigerator. What happens is moisture gets into it and you're actually cooking the leaf. And so you're not going to get the flavor out of it when you make it. So, and then I heat seal it. So Dorothy hasn't used this yet. So it's heat sealed and it's good for shipping. And you can keep this in your cupboard for 4 years at least.
Now, do you do gift bags
I do. I can
that has
do
a
gift
cup and everything?
baskets.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I can do gift baskets. I don't do them personally, but if you order something special that you want to give to somebody,
So someone can call you and say, "Look, you know, I've got I'm leaving for this party. You know, next week. You know, they're tea drinkers. Can you put something
Mhm.
together for me?" You would be able to do that.
I would be able to
Great,
do
great
that.
idea.
So I try to cover all the bases, but the basics are make it correctly, follow the directions. You will love it. You will find all different flavors. China alone probably exports about 10,000 different flavors.
Yeah,
of
but
tea.
15% tariff, they're not going to do it anymore.
Well, I will tell you that I did get a letter from all of my suppliers saying Chinese tea is now 3% higher than it
Yeah,
was
Of
yesterday.
course, of course.
So yeah, so prices.
So
are
someone's
going-
paying for that tariff.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
for sure.
they're gonna move their headquarters to the United States.
Now people think that teas are expensive because they look at 1 ounce. This is a 1 ounce pouch.
How long will that
A
last?
1
How
ounce
many
pouch
teas can I get out of
is
that?
the industry average is 10 to 15 cups based on a teaspoon worth of tea per cup. Couple of things. First of all, most teas can be infused at least twice. Green tea, this jasmine, probably 2 times.
Okay.
The darker teas, oolong especially, 3, 4, 5 times. So when you look at it that way, 1 ounce will last you probably 30 cups worth of tea, 25 to 30 cups. And prices range from about $4 to $6 an ounce, depending
It's
on
very
on the tea.
inexpensive. So you have tea for the whole
Now-
month.
When I went to the tea expo, I fell in love with one of the teas that one of my suppliers had. It's an oolong. Oolong happens to be my most favorite tea.
That's the dark one.
Oolong can be towards green. It's the way it's processed. So it can be closer to green tea. It can also be closer to black tea. This particular oolong, I believe, is closer. It's probably just in the middle between the two. So wholesale, and I did buy a pound if anybody would like to have an ounce of it. Wholesale, I spent $95.
Wow. For-
Wholesale
for
for a
oolong.
pound
Wow.
Wow.
for oolong. Now, I'm selling it for $30 an ounce.
There's a good profit margin there.
Not
No,
really.
yes,
No.
So $30 an ounce,
An
16 ounces to a
ounce.
pound. 30 times 16 is, I don't know, 18 something.
Yeah, I have a formula, but it's the same formula I use for all my
All your
teas.
teas, yeah.
I didn't change the formula, but it's $30 an ounce. But with 1 teaspoon, you can make at least 4 cups of tea.
Mhm.
At least 4 cups out of this 1 teaspoon. So it's it's different than what you think it is.
Right.
But it's the difference between going to the store and buying Barefoot bubbly
Mhm.
and or a bottle of Chandon or Rothschilds or any of the
Right.
$200 to $300 a bottle champagne.
Right.
There's a difference, and you'll be able to taste the difference.
Well, the connoisseurs will definitely taste the difference in all the different flavors.
Yeah. So if you've been drinking tea a long time and you love oolong, then Ru Gi is the oolong that you need. It's not even on my website, so you're going to have to call me to order it.
So what kind of information can people find on your website? Obviously, they can order stuff on your website,
They
right?
they can find information about my tea talks, my tea tastings.
Okay.
They can find out some of the charities that I promote,
Which you support
that I support.
quite a few.
Or they could come to Portnoy Gallery, because we are going to do an event with tea. We should do an event with tea. One of you,
We can have a tea tasting.
well, Dorothy does the
here.
Sip View and Paint, her painting classes.
Yes, and I have been here. I have been multiple times
Well,
with my tea on her paint nights.
We got to do it again. Got to do it again.
Oh, okay.
All right, there we go.
Somebody just messaged in the chat room, at least through the watch party, Neil, what did you put on your arm and why?
Well, Aaron had surgery on his rotator cuff on his right shoulder, and I was feeling sympathy pains. So this is actually a traveling marker case for my magic markers that I kind of Mickey Mouse together just for sympathy pains on my left shoulder, because I should be going in for rotator on my left shoulder. I got 2 torn tendons. Eileen, what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
The mockery
Oh,
continues.
she looks at me like it's real.
Yeah.
No, sympathy pains. I Mickey Mouse this. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
My wife and daughter just walked in, so.
Yeah. Now I have an excuse like he does. Mine isn't real. His is real, but it's an excuse.
All right.
Back to reality.
Question for you, Mr. Neil.
Yeah.
Shall we do getting to know you with Louise?
Oh, absolutely. That's my
Although
favorite.
she's been privy to it when we were on
Yeah,
Aaron's
I
hour, but it's been a while though. Do you want to do that again?
my favorite segment of the show.
Well then.
Is it, first of all, before we do that, are there any any other myths and things you want to touch on regarding
Just-
the teas?
Be careful what you drink. Make sure you read the labels, especially of the bottled and cans of tea.
And call you first.
Always call me first, and I will help you through that.
Yeah, it doesn't cost
You know.
anything to get
And
the
there
proper
are-
information.
There are a couple of ones that really do just have tea and water.
Okay.
And then you can add your own sweetener. So
Listen, if I was going to
make
get,
your own. Get some loose leaf tea and make your own.
yeah,
Easiest.
if I want to, if I wanted to learn about tea, when people post on social media, hey, got a question for you out there. Okay, ready, go. And the question is, who should I speak to? I love my tea, and I want to learn more about tea and get tea from the source where it's the best tea around. Without any hesitation, I put your name in.
Yes.
The
You can ask me. I also
Clint
have a
Eastwood
Facebook
of
page.
tea.
Yeah.
And if you want to say hello direct, you can get her at littlecandletea.com is the website. Her direct line is 702-643-2828. I have hellos from Texas. I have hellos from Washington, D.C. for you. Fans are checking in and letting us all know that they're out there and they're enjoying the topic of tea. Couple of quick events to remind you that Louise will be at before we get into getting to know you. September 27th through 29 at the Pop-Up Marketplace, Las Vegas. That'll be at the Walmart Shopping Center over on Charleston and Decatur. October 26th, Tea Talk at Coronado Heights Assisted Living. The public is welcome. It is from 2:30 to 3:30. There is a minimal $5 per person admission fee. And there will be tastings coming up at a place called A Balanced You Wellness Center. Days and times to be forthcoming. So just wanted to let you know that that's where you can get Louise and see what's going on. Plus, just email her, like Neil said, send her a message, get her business card, and she'll be at your disposal whenever you need. Okay, you've done this before, so you are a repeat offender of this. Getting to know you, where I'm going to shoot some rapid fire questions so the people out there get to know Louise the person, besides just Louise as Clint Eastwood. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
So, okay, you ready?
Okay.
I know. Favorite song? Tea for two and two. No, that's not.
Every little breeze whispers Louise.
Okay. Oh, there you go. That's a good one too. Favorite actor of all time?
Clint Eastwood.
Well, he can be, but of all time, oh my gosh, going back,
Quick.
Favorite actress?
I don't know.
Favorite actress?
I don't have a favorite actress.
Favorite movie of all time that when it comes on TV, you drop everything to watch?
Oh my gosh, any Star Wars.
Really? You're a Star Wars geek?
Wow.
Any Star
Right
Wars.
on. Right on. There's another new one that's coming out, right?
I know,
They're doing another
yeah.
one. It's a prequel of a prequel.
Yeah.
It's when Scott Hamilton was a baby as Luke Skywalker.
Oh,
Anyway, if money were no object, what kind of car would you love to see parked in your driveway?
A brand new Subaru every year.
Okay, that'll work. Subaru, how are you? What is your favorite all-time vacation spot that you've been to?
That I've been to, all-time vacation spot. Um, Banff,
Banff.
Lake Louise,
Well, I'm not surprised about that place.
Where's
Yeah.
Banff?
Canada.
Never been there.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard of it too because I sold that stuff
Where's
6 years
Banff?
ago. It's in Canada.
In
what
Canada,
province?
It's in Ontario? Oh, Alberta?
Alberta.
Alberta? Okay. Thank you, audience. Audience participation.
Yeah, that's always good.
Bucket list item number 1 of where you'd like to vacation someday.
Oh, I would love to go to Monaco.
Okay, that's not bad.
Just to see it, just to go.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Don't touch
you
that
have
shoulder.
no.
You scared me.
You have no. Touch a millionaire on the shoulder.
Well, yeah, you can have this shoulder.
Gazillionaire,
There you go.
gazillionaire.
You can touch this shoulder then.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, Morocco. Have you noticed that the last couple of guests we've had on, when we've come to that, all are Middle Eastern
Yeah.
part of the country
Is
or
that
the
what
world
it-
out there?
Is that where that's
Monaco
located?
is not.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna
no,
say.
well, that's near Greece, right? Is
Yeah.
that where it is? But I mean, it's
Oh, Italy.
Italy. Where's Morocco?
Morocco is Middle Eastern.
Yeah, but where's Monaco?
Monaco?
Yeah, that's French.
I drove a
France.
Dodge Monaco. I drove a Dodge Monaco.
Isn't that near?
I don't think it's the same thing, but
No, it's,
Isn't that where Bill Clinton lives? Monaco? No,
I don't know.
different.
That's a different Monaco.
Yeah,
I mean, Monaco.
different, yeah.
Okay. If someone were coming to Vegas for the first time, what would you recommend that they absolutely must do as a typical Las Vegas tourist?
go to Red Rock.
Okay. There you
Stay
go.
off the strip.
Yeah, that's what we take.
Go
them.
to shows, lots of, and get to a restaurant, any one of the millions of restaurants that are
Restaurant.
absolutely
Which is
awesome.
what would you recommend? Number 1 restaurant on the strip.
on the strip.
Or
I
wherever.
love Emeralds.
Okay. All right. So Emeralds would be a place you'd
Emerald
recommend.
I would,
Lagasse.
yeah.
Bam.
But there's so
Right?
many.
That's the
Guy
band guy?
Fieri's
That's the
is a lot
band
of
guy.
fun.
Yeah, Guy Fieri's all over the place, isn't
yeah,
he?
he's
got a
all
couple
over
of
the
places.
places.
All right.
So
If what do you do to relax in Las Vegas when you're not dealing with teas? Don't tell me you're sitting and drinking a cup of tea. That doesn't count.
oh no, I'm drinking other things.
Good one.
Yeah.
Adult beverages.
Yeah, adult beverages. When I relax, I like to go to parks.
What's your favorite park in town?
Well, because I'm close to it, I love Craig. Now that they've redone Craig
Oh, okay.
Regional Park,
Yeah.
take my dog.
Isn't that the one that
Go
used to be the
walk.
golf course up by where we used to live up
Yes.
that way, right?
Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
remember
And
that. Yeah, they
they've
did a
done
nice
an-
job.
Oh my gosh, they did an amazing job.
Absolutely.
And so
What kind of
that's-
dog do you have?
I have a Queensland Heeler mix.
A what?
Queensland Heeler is
I
is
know
part of,
dogs. I never heard of that.
yeah, he's part of the Australian cattle dog family. He's
Okay.
a cattle dog.
Okay.
He's easily recognizable by they have a patch over one eye. They're usually white.
Was that
brown
like Petey the
spots.
dog from the
Target.
Little Rascals?
Like Target.
Like Target.
No,
I'm just thinking of
No,
a
I
black
don't
patch
know.
eye. That's all.
I don't remember what Petey looked like. I
Okay.
don't think so.
What about Target? Like the Target dog?
No, those are that's a bulldog. I mean, not a bulldog. I can't think of the name of it now.
I've never
No,
heard of
it's a
that
different
breed.
type.
I'm a dog lover.
Yeah, no, Queensland Heelers are
Queensland.
they're
So
like
it's Australian.
they're like the blue heeler and the red heeler.
Okay.
That's that same family.
Gotcha. Last question for you. If you are not doing what you do today with your teas, what other career would you have liked to have tried or done?
I would have liked to have been in the hospitality
Okay.
career, have a hospitality career. Just meeting new people all the time and being customer service.
Well,
And,
you know you kind of do that now,
well, I do.
right?
Yeah.
I
So I
have-
love I think I would have loved that and be able to travel all over the world and go to different hotels and
I have a
stuff.
question. Have you ever gone up to the tea room at the old Mandarin Oriental, which is now a new property,
Have I been to
and talk to
Mandarin?
them about bringing what your teas to them?
No. And there's lots of reasons why.
Okay.
And so no.
Probably political reasons.
No, just I'm not a wholesaler, so that wouldn't be. And they can get my tea at the same price that I do. And
Okay.
So there's no
probably
advantage.
even a better price. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, they're bigger.
Her motto, very simply, is this: to help people find a tea that they enjoy drinking and learn to make it so it tastes good.
I just got to mention Joe Branson, a friend of all of ours.
Yes.
Posted in the chat room here that the Louise bends over backwards to make your experience fantastic. It's a great quote.
Thank you, Jill. I love you.
Right on. All right, Louise, any final thoughts on any tea inspiration you'd like to share?
I just want you to enjoy what you drink. Stay away from the tea bags. You're not going to get the flavor that you're going to get, and you're not going to get the variety of teas that you can get when you buy loose leaf anything, whether it's an herbal infusion or a fruit infusion or an actual tea. You know, it's there's so many out there. Find something you enjoy and drink it. It's
Right
good
on.
for you.
Good job. Thank you, Louise, for coming on.
Thank you for having
Always
me.
appreciate
I
it.
love it. Thank
Good.
you.
Mr. Neal,
Thank you, Neil.
closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts, 30 games left in the baseball season before we get to the playoffs. You know me, I always go to that baseball.
Mhm.
Going to be interesting for the wild card for a number of teams.
Right.
Not just in the Eastern American League Conference, but all over Major League Baseball. My thoughts on the uniforms that were used yesterday.
The black and whites.
The black and whites were horrendous.
Yes.
And the players are all complaining about it, that they don't want to do it anymore because it looks stupid.
Not the black and whites. In the past, they were allowed to use their regular unis, just had the nicknames on the back.
Yeah, but the black and white's got to go.
No.
It just, we have color TV. Hello.
That's true. That's very true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, next week we're not going to be here. We're going to take Labor Day Saturday off so you can catch all the best of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers on any of our podcast outlets right here on Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget we have a YouTube channel. And, of course, on TuneIn, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You can get all of our audio files. Louise's will be up within the next 48 hours if you've missed anything. And when you do see it, please, folks, reshare it so that we can get the message out and the fun message about tea and actually how nutritious it is and the right way really to enjoy it. Because Louise is talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, Clint Eastwood style.
Love it, love it, love it. Louise, thank you so much.
Go ahead.
It's a pleasure to finally have you on our Twin Brothers from Different Mothers podcast. Again, I'll reiterate what Aaron said. Please share it because there are so many people out there that want and absorb, like sponging, new information on a daily basis. This is very pertinent to those of us who are tea lovers that, all of a sudden we get a whole different view on what tea is all about. And we're not going to go to the store and get that little tea bag. We're going to go right here to our guest, purchase from her, learn about the product, and kind of custom design for your own taste buds what you really want to have.
Well said. September bookings for guests is wide open. We have Chadwick Johnson coming up next month. I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head, but if you're interested in coming on and doing what Louise did, as you notice, she did not run out of here with her head on fire, scared, nervous about being interviewed by us, although she was scared before we went on the air after seeing Neil and I go our thing. Contact us through Twin Brothers, differentmothers@gmail.com. Send us a message to our Facebook page. Be happy to reply and just simply sit down with you, show you the advantages of doing what Louise and every other guest has done by being on with us. Please, please, please have a safe Labor Day weekend. Don't do anything silly so you can't join us the following week. Again, have a great day. Thank you for watching. For Neil Portnoy, for our guest Louise, and everybody here in the studio, and for everybody out there, thank you for watching. Have a great day from all of us here, Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. See ya.